On today's episode, featured videos include...
Hi there, everyone. Welcome to episode 25 of the supplemental broadcast here on Alexandria Alternative Media Broadcasting and OK Copernicus production. I'm your host, Jess. However, you can also call me Epitome or Burn Kid because I am Epitome the Burn Kid. Please be sure to follow the entire archival project, hashtag YouTube Recommended Chronicles, on X or Tumblr for the latest videos, music, memes, and more. Listen to the official soundtrack on SoundCloud, and if you're watching me on YouTube, please be sure to find me over on Rumble should anything happen to this channel. All the links we discussed in today's episode can be found below in the description box, and please be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, follow, and tell a friend or a family about our program and the many things that we cover in our program. It's for the good of the world. And just as a friendly reminder, if I get a little itchy, I am sensitive to some solar weather and electromagnetic fluctuations, Schumann resonance, and things have been pretty active this year, which we will get into more of that in upcoming episodes. I'm really excited to tell you guys. But for now, after my little disclaimer, on to today's featured video recommendations. All right, let's kick off the show with some stupendously candid criticism aimed at the Davos set. Our first video comes in from The Sun's YouTube channel and features Talk TV's Julia Hartley sounding off on why it's time for all those WEF attendees who should really start listening to ordinary people about how, regular people wish to live their lives and stop behaving as rulers who think that they have a right to dictate if, when, how, and why we exist at their little Davos convention and that, World Government Summit they just had? Yeah, they had that. Funny how these elites were not raised with any manners, ethics, or morals and are literally so clueless about who they really are and what they stand for that they can carry on with this behavior without any guilt, shame, or remorse. Well, you know what? They're well-dressed savages. And, if you ask me, that's the only thing that I can think of when I look at those types. Be sure to hear all of Julia's epic critique over at The Sun. Our second video comes in from Clown Planet and is titled Boom, with several O's. And my favorite moment from this year's Davos Con comes in from Kevin Roberts from the Heritage Foundation, calling out the WEF upper echelon's false narrative of upholding liberal democracy when it is beyond clear that they are corrupt corporate communists with a flair for technocratic fascism and totalitarian autocracy. The only thing that could have made this moment more epic would involve a mic drop and a touchdown dance. This guy was really great. So definitely click on that video down in the description box. Clown Planet brings us this clip in all its freedom-loving glory with their edits. Fantastic. And our third video is coming in from Suspicious Observers, and the title is Magnetic Pole Shift Live Q&A. So now on to other important matters of the times. We have a live Q&A session here with Ben from Suspicious Observers about all things linked to the ongoing geomagnetic excursion, micronova, and corresponding magnetic pole shift that we're all experiencing the beginning signs of with all the crazy weather and the earthquakes, the volcanoes, the weird animal things that are going on. Yeah, this is all related to this. There are links in the description box for this video in particular for a very good interview. And when I say this video, the video that I put in the description box, in that video's description box is the one I'm talking about, of the interview that took place on Tim Pool's podcast that will be most helpful in getting the word out about the upcoming natural disaster that I hope my viewers have started preparing for and teaching others about the coming events that we must all prepare for. So head on over to Suspicious Observer's channel for more space weather updates and Earth disaster cycle updates and education about that. And now our next entry is from the Ayn Rand Institute, their channel, and the title is Democracy versus a Constitutional Republic, Ayn Rand's Case. So I am very happy to bring you some solid classical political philosophy from one of the 20th century's most discussed figures, Ayn Rand, with a recording of her evaluation comparing a democracy to a constitutional republic. Since so many people throw these terms around incorrectly and rather flippantly, and in a lot of cases interchangeably, I think it is important to expose as many people to primary sources for all matters pertaining to the humanities, especially regarding philosophy and history. So the more people can be exposed to knowledge that has been excluded from much of the modern education practices and resources for most people. The Ayn Rand Institute has a wonderful channel with a wide array of samples and sound bites over her career in academia. So definitely be sure to go check that out. And now we have a video from Robert Breaker titled Fallen Angels, Demons, Giants, and Clones. So let's follow up that philosophy lesson with a theological one. This lecture from Robert Breaker about fallen angels, demons, giants, and clones, he is going to go ahead and take us through a biblical account of all of these entities and how they tie to the apocalypse currently unveiling before our very eyes here on the supplemental broadcast. Head on over to his channel for some straight talk on a topic we all had best mentally, physically, spiritually prepare for in our seemingly near future. It's just a really good idea to do. And now we have last up on our show today, we have Vajan Health, and that's the name of the channel, Vajan Health, taking a look at the new research on the medical phenomenon of embalmer's clots, also known as coffee ground clots, being found in those who have passed away after receiving a certain controversial medical concoction paraded around as a vaccine, but ended up being gene editing therapy and a documented bioweapon when we add up all the evidence. Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about, right? So those pictures of these protein clots going around social media are absolutely no hoax. Those are real. Those are the truth, and the truth needs to get out there because fact checkers and community readers are trying to dismiss this very real and very alarming evolution of evidence that must not be ignored. For the full scoop, head over to the link provided in the description box, and I will provide more on this story as more data becomes available in future episodes of the broadcast. That wraps up our feature presentations, brings us to my favorite part of the show every episode, which is my auspicious op-ed. So I composed some words about something that I think is important and we should all think about. And if all it does is inspire you to go compose some words about something important and share them, that you've been thinking about, well, you know, my job here is done. So let's get on with it. All right. Individual personal sovereignty may have been put into question by the advent of CAPTCHA. You know, those weird little prompts that we have when we use the internet to check and see if we're human, like picking out how many buses or like light posts or something there is in a picture and then entering it or whatever. That's what we're talking about, CAPTCHA. But no one can doubt that it was smashed into obliteration by the implementation of two-factor authentication. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this one. This is a tech op-ed that's quite auspicious for our times. I often wondered upon first hearing about transhumanism as both a political movement and a philosophy on how on earth would like one trick the masses into adopting any desire to embark on like such a highway to hell. Transhumanism begins with the position that human beings should be permitted to use technology to modify and enhance human cognition and bodily function, expanding abilities and capacities beyond current biological constraints. Then, if that wasn't enough, guys, transhumanism ventures into using technology to control and oppress humans before its most extreme components involve attempts at using technology to achieve eternal life in either some sort of digital upload or cybernetic fusion that redefines the parameters of life, far from what most spiritually minded and just rationally minded people deem as existence. So that's the transhumanism that we are talking about today. For several decades, starting around the post-World War II era and, around the Korean conflict era, it's around that time period, the concepts that catapulted better living through chemistry decide to wrap their tentacles around computing as the next supposed remedy for all the ails of the human condition. Over time, many manners of influence and mandates have incrementally nudged many unwitting consumers into a place of manipulated consent and compliance without time to even consider evaluating alternatives and resistance to whichever product or concept the powers that be wish to peddle at any given moment. Let me give everyone a great example with 20th century computers and how they have slowly nudged many unwanted features into our hardware and software as we continue to progress through history. As much as I thought both my IBM PS1, which for everyone who's young or somewhat young, which was a late 80s desktop, and my Macintosh Power PC from the mid 90s, my opinion of those was that they were solid quality machines for their time. I did not foresee how the jump from dial-up internet to early cable broadband modems, long before the days of high-speed Ethernet, broadband, or Wi-Fi, would forever remove the word solid and quality from my future opinions of the more contemporary computing devices that are now repeatedly updating to the point of everything being full of shoddy, self-destructive features that are intentionally designed to overhaul a human-dominated computing experience. You see, solid and quality construction are not very good for bottom lines, let alone providing the false promises of economic incentives that seem to only make the rich richer off the backs of everyone else in a hope of placing enough debt over the public that they are forced into some sort of neo-serfdom that would help with the help of said technology that they're pushing on us, that was supposed to cause man to need to work less to achieve prosperous results geared toward more convenience and recreation. I want to make clear that transhumanism is anti-humanism, and that CAPTCHA is a highly offensive covert nudge at suggesting that you need the supremacy of a machine or similar form of technology to verify the legitimacy of your humanity. Let that sink in. If that isn't a highly abusive and manipulative psyop that they conveniently slipped on the unsuspecting public, let's look at its descendant, two-factor authentication. That's right, guys, I'm going there. Now, your human input is not enough to prove you aren't some more advanced machine. So you need to get a special passcode from your needlessly expensive digitized electronic shackles that they have placed upon you so that you can access your own personal accounts that in many cases are free and don't really carry any sensitive data. This was done intentionally to condition us. Now think about ChatGPT replacing human interaction in research. Think about Neuralink, nanotechnology, and 5G brainwave interference. Oh, and those Apple goggles, let's throw those in there. Now think about what the metaverse and all these AI kiosks popping up to replace humans and justify discarding every human consideration in favor of their machine supremacy model and their creation's unwanted and unwelcome notions on the masses at large. Make no mistake about the predictive programming being promoted on mainstream media platforms and streaming services. They are letting us know full well what they think of us, and they are not pulling punches. It's sad to think that the message was lost on us and we'll just go with their flow. They actually thought that. I think it's time to show these elitist ignoramuses the door by refusing to depend on cooperating with them in any future endeavors now that they can't stop showing all of their evil hands. Yeah, that's right. We see you guys. And that brings us to the end of today's show. Our musical selection today is by yours truly, Epitome the Burn Kid, titled Do the Do. We have an amazingly beautiful music video for the community also on the page. Please go check out my VJ skills. I have a ton of music videos, music video movies. I even have a live set where I do a little ditty, and I have another Ascension party coming up soon where I'll hop on and I'll start mixing on camera, and you can crank it up at home and, get your what on. So, yeah. Anyways, that is it for our show today. I want to thank you all for joining me, and links, as always, are in the description box. And as I like to tell you guys, stay set, stay prepped, stay safe, stay awesome, be excellent to one another, and go tell a friend and family about all of this. It's time to get ready. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day. Bye. Epitome out.